Okay, we have been talking about subtraction across zeros. We have used the draw a model strategy, or the diagram, drawing the hundreds blocks. We've used manipulatives. Today we're looking at place value strategy. Our steps are very similar. We start by decomposing the terms. We subtract the ones, we regroup if needed, subtract the tens, then the hundreds, regroup when needed, and we rewrite in working form and add the differences. Working form just means to write it vertically. Okay, let's begin. Okay, decompose the terms. We have 950. So I'm going to leave some space up at the top for our regrouping, and I'm going to put 900. We're putting the value rather than the digit representing the place value. So we're putting, because that'll give us some room to work, 900. There are 5 tens, so we're putting 50 here. And there are 0 ones, so instead of leaving it blank, we are actually writing in 0. So let's look at the subtrahend. The first digit in the subtrahend is 2, with a value of 200. The second digit is a 7. It's in the tens place with a value of 70. And we do have a 1 in the ones place. So I should check those off to let me know that we finished those. So we have decomposed the terms. Now we're going to subtract the ones. I have a 1. I have nothing here. We need to regroup. Let's go over to our next column, which is the tens, and we can take one of those tens away and put it over here. That's regrouping. We're going to take apart one of the tens, so instead of having 50, we will have 40. And then instead of having 0, we're going to have 10. Because that 10 has to go somewhere. It's like going to the bank and exchanging a $10 bill for 10 ones, or a dime for 10 pennies. We still have the same amount. We still have 900 plus 40 plus 10, which is 950. So now we can subtract the ones. We did need to regroup. So 10, take away 1, is 9. Now we have 40, take away 70. Well, we can't subtract 70 from 40. So again, we're going to need to regroup. We're going to go over to the next column over, because there's lots of hundreds here. So we're going to take one of those hundreds away. Instead of having 900, we'll have 800. And instead of having 40, we'll have 140. Now we can subtract 140 minus 70. Sorry, that reminded me of 14 minus 7, and that's a double. I know that 7 plus 7 is 14, so I know that 70 plus 70 is going to be 140. So that sometimes knowing those doubles can really help you in subtraction as well, because remember, subtraction is just the inverse operation of addition. So 140 take away 70 is 70. So we subtracted the ones, we subtracted the tens. Oh, we need to subtract the hundreds. 800 minus 200. Well, I know that 8 minus 2 is 6, but I'm talking hundreds, and so we're going to have 600. These are our partial differences. So now we're on this last step, rewrite in working form. Let's do that. The 600 goes on top. The 70 is in the next row, and the 9 here. I like how sometimes it's easier to write in a grid, and so if you're at home and you have graph paper available, use graph paper to help you line things up. I do that frequently for my own math problems. Let's add these up. 0 plus 0 plus 9. 9 ones. 7 tens. There's still 7 tens. There's nothing else in the tens column. And 6 is the only number in the hundreds, and so we have 6 hundreds. Our answer is 679. So 950, and we subtract 271, our answer is 679. I'm going to just do that off on the side using the standard algorithm, and to demonstrate how regrouping here relates to regrouping with the standard algorithm. We have 950, and we're subtracting 271. Notice how I try very carefully to line these up. One trick that I learned a few years ago is to turn, if you're using binder paper, to turn it sideways and use the lines on your binder paper to help you write your columns neatly. And that is a great idea. Okay, let's subtract. We start with the ones, 0 minus 1. Well, we can't do that. We need to do some regrouping. So we come over to the tens, and 5 tens will become 4 tens, and our 0 here will become a 10. We have 900, 4 tens, and 10 ones. That's still 950. And that is the important thing, is that we have to keep that value at 950. Can I subtract 1 from 10? Yes, I can. 10 minus 1 is 9. So now we move over to the next column. We've done the ones. Now we're going to do the tens. My number on the bottom is bigger, my digit on the bottom, so I'm going to have to do regrouping again. I cannot take 7 from 4, but I notice there are some hundreds here, and so we're going to go to the hundreds column. We're going to take 100 away, so instead of 9, there will be 8, and 100 is the same as 10 tens. So 10 plus 4 is 14. So now I have 14 tens, and 14 minus 7, that's the same as 14 tens minus 7 tens. 14 minus 7 is 7, and 8 minus 2 is 6. Did we get the same number? Yes, we did. This is using the standard algorithm. This is using the place value strategy. Sometimes you have to work a problem a few times in order to get the hang of it, and regrouping is one of those skills that takes a lot of practice, and if we haven't done it for a while, it takes even more practice. But if you keep doing it, even if you don't understand it, if you keep following the steps, you will start to understand it, and it will start to make sense. Thank you for joining me.